Hello, this is Chris Bertelson with a quick clip from Nevada Learning Series. Here we'll see how to customize the start screen in Windows 8. One of the things I really like about Windows 8 is all the ways you can customize the start screen. You can change both the way it's organized and the way it looks. To change the organization, you can click and drag or tap and drag your finger on a touch screen to move these tiles around, and they magically move out of the way as you move them up there. Now if you look at this, these tiles are organized into groups. We have this group and we have another group over here on the right. If you want to move from one group to the next, just tap and drag and you can move into those different groups. If you want to create a new group, you can drag to a blank space in between. You get a little vertical bar and you release, and now you've added to that new group. You can create these groups on the left, on the right, anywhere you'd like in those spaces. Let's put this one right here and we'll put that over there. So we're kind of organizing these by type of app. Here we have all of our news apps in that group. We'll put our reading apps over here. And now we've got this nicely organized into different groups, but I really don't have the big picture. You see, I have to scroll back and forth. Well, to get the big picture, I can go to the lower right-hand corner and click on that little minus down there. And that zooms out to what's called semantic view. Semantic means how do things relate to one another, and here you can see how these groups relate to one another. Now if you have a touch screen, you can just pinch your fingers on that touch screen and it will zoom out to that view. When you're in this view, you can then click and drag to reorganize those. Let's put the news group over here. We'll put the games group right there. You can also right click or tap and hold to select a group. You get an action menu at the bottom. We can choose to name this group, so we can put a label on this. We'll call this productivity right there. We'll select this one and name this news, and we'll select one more and we'll call this one fun. Now let's take a look. Now we've got them organized and we've got these nice labels up here at the top. If you want to change the size of the tiles to make them squares or rectangles, you can do that in many cases. Simply tap and hold or right click on a tile. You get the action menu down at the bottom, and if it says smaller, you can make it smaller. Now when you make them smaller, if they're these tiles that do these live updates, you don't get quite as much information as you did before, but they do take up less space. Now, speaking of these live updates, some people find this to be a little distracting to have them always flickering and animating on the screen. I like it myself, but if you want to turn it off, you can right-click, select it, come down here and choose Turn That Live Tile Off. Or tap and hold, come down at the bottom and say Turn That Live Tile Off. I like that when I've had too much caffeine. It's kind of a calming effect on my desktop. If you'd like to remove one of these tiles, let's say we want to remove the camera tile there, we can right-click on it, come down at the bottom and say Unpin from Start. Now it's been removed from my start screen. It's still on my system. I could still run the camera app if I wanted to, but it's just not taking up space on the start screen. If you want to see all of the apps, you can slide your finger from the bottom edge, or you can right-click and choose All Apps down here at the bottom. And there's a list of all of the apps that we have on our system. And these include both the start screen apps that you have and the traditional Windows programs that run on the desktop. Find one that you'd like to run, like command prompt or maybe on-screen keyboard, and you can click and launch those programs. And this is nice for programs that you don't run very often. If they're your favorite programs and you run them frequently, you can right-click to select and say Pin to the Start screen, and now that camera app has been pinned to the start screen. We see it right there. Another way that I can find apps to pin is to do a search. If I go to the upper right and come down, I get my charms. I choose the search charm and I can search for Control, and that narrows the list of apps down to just the Control panel. I right-click to select it, come down here and say Pin to Start. Take a look at our start screen, And there you can see the control panel in the lower right. When I'm ready to run that, I tap on that and it launches my control panel. This is a desktop app, so it runs on the Windows 8 desktop, as do many of these icons that I have here, including the Excel, Movie Maker, Photo Gallery, and so forth. If you'd like to change the background colors of your start screen, you can do that by going to Settings. We'll go to our charms and choose Settings. And down at the bottom, I choose Change PC Settings. On the left, I choose Personalize. And at the top, I choose the start screen. Here we have a rainbow of colors to choose from. There's 25 different colors to select from. These are popular at Halloween. This is kind of a nice Barney purple color there. I'm kind of partial to this. This I call chocolate brown. And you can choose to have no pattern in the background, bubble patterns, swirly patterns. Let's take a look. There's that nice chocolate background that I've added. Another way that you can get to those settings is a keyboard shortcut, and that's Windows I. That pulls up information or settings on this app. Here I can go over to Change PC Settings, and I can change my start screen right there. You can also change the account picture that you see on the start screen. If I click on this, we could choose another picture. Some people think this might be a more appropriate likeness, so let's take a look. Now you can see I've updated that account picture up there on my start screen. Another way that you can easily change the account picture is just to click on your name up there, choose Change Account Picture, and you can go in and choose maybe a more suitable picture right there for that user. So we've seen a lot, how to organize the tiles into groups, name the groups, how you can add and remove tiles, and even change the account picture and the background. Those are some of the many ways that I love to customize my start screen in Windows 8. This has been a quick clip from Nevada Learning Series, helping you get the most from Microsoft Windows.